more Grado. Whoa, no more Grado. Whoa, no more Grado. Whoa, no more Grado. Whoa, no more Grado. Wait for it, wait for it. Remix. Whoa, fuck Grado. Whoa, fuck Grado. Whoa, fuck Grado. Whoa, fuck Grado. Tonight's show was the Feast or Fired special of Impact, and I think by the intro, you know who got fired. No more of that fat, cartoony, dorky, stupid, comedic, Santino wannabe, jabroni-ass British motherfucking bastard anymore. Yeah! Grado's gone. He got fired. Bye-bye, bitch. To kick off the show, we had a Jeff Hardy segment, which he came out there and he called out his brother Matt, of course, which was announced that he was going to do earlier on in the week. And Matt Hardy, it takes him a while to come out there. Matt Hardy's got a new theme. It's so annoying, though, because it starts off with Matt Hardy saying, I am iconic. Yeah. Matt Hardy's old as shit, and for some reason he's got the title now and a new theme and everything. It's Big Money Matt. And he comes out there with his stupid bitch-ass wife, which thankfully Jeff Hardy called her a stupid bitch too, which was hilarious. Rebby Sky, and along with them, they've got their little son Maxwell, and guess who's carrying him? Tyrus. Tyrus now used to carry EC3's bags, now he carries Matt Hardy's kid. Yeah, good for you, Tyrus, good for you. Whatever happened to your number one contender's title shot? And Jeff talks about how he's not proud of Matt at all, and ever since Rebby's came around, she's kind of just been telling him what to do. Matt Hardy's now Rebby's bitch, FYI. But then then Rebby starts talking to Jeff Hardy, and she starts bad-mouthing him, calling him the redneck Evil Knievel, and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And then Jeff Hardy just tells her to shut her, that he's not trying to talk to his stupid, uh, what did he say, sister-in-law bitch, and that he's trying to talk to his brother Matt. And then Rebby's like, you tell him you can't talk to me like that. Tell him you can't talk to me like that. So then Matt Hardy, of course, being Rebby's bitch that he is, that's his gimmick now. He's like, you can't talk to her that way. Blah, blah, blah. And then Jeff Hardy's like, well, you're acting like a bitch too. And hey, there's bitch 3, and he points at Tyrus. Then he starts getting the crowd to chant, why Matt, why, which is freaking hilarious. And then throughout the night, when we see Matt Hardy every single time, they start chanting, you still suck, which I absolutely love that. Instead of just chanting, you suck, they're like, you still suck, you still suck. Like, even though he turned heel, he still sucks. But this ends up leading to Jeff saying that he's actually on EC3's side, and he thinks EC3 is the greatest champion because he won it fair and square, which was awesome. EC3 is going to get a huge pop when he gets back. They're already chanting EC3 the whole freaking night. I also heard a freaking New Day chant tonight, which shows you how over they are. Hey, I got it. Fuck Grado. Fuck Grado. Fuck Grado. Okay. But back to the show. They end up setting up for a match tonight for the title between Matt and Jeff. And you know, of course, something's going to go down because they're not going to make Matt Hardy defend the belt the week after, which something does go down, but we'll get to that at the end of the show. Then after that, we've got the Feast or Fired match already. And this match is pretty much full of a bunch of jobbers and Drew Galloway, Beer Money, and Eric Young and Bram. The rest of them, I think, are just jobbers. Yeah, pretty much. They're like no-name superstar talent right now, like Eli Drake, Jesse Goddard, Robbie E, Rockstar Spud. I believe there was more people in there than just that. Was DJ Z in there? No, because he was in the X Division title match that came up after that. Oh, Chris Melendez, the Sarge, was in there, if anyone cares. But overall, it was a bunch of jobbers, Eric Young, Bram, Beer Money, and Drew Galloway. And this match ended up being pretty average. I mean, they were fighting all around the place at the starting. I wasn't expecting too much out of this match. Funny thing, Grado gets the first briefcase, and he's standing on the back of Aiden O'Shaw, which is another jobber I forgot to mention. He's like wears a wife beater. He's like really retarded looking, and I don't like him. His gimmick's basically he's a thug, and it's a really stale, stupid gimmick. But Grado's standing on his back, and Grado's taking forever to pull down the briefcase because he's a fucking retard. I guess that's his gimmick, is he's too stupid to get a briefcase down off a pole. But it takes him about 2 centuries to get it down. Then he finally gets it down. I want to know how anyone else didn't come in there and knock him down. Thankfully they didn't, because that bitch got fired. But, yeah, that was the first briefcase. Then I believe Galloway got the second. I believe he did. Yeah, Galloway got the second. And he was hung upside down on the turnbuckles, Tree of Woe. And Eli Drake ran up him, up the turnbuckles, to go grab the briefcase down. And then Drew Galloway did the same thing they did against Kurt Angle a couple weeks ago, or last week maybe. No, it was a couple weeks ago. And pulled himself up, and then German suplexed Eli Drake off, which was freaking sweet. And then Drew Galloway climbed up, pulled himself back up, and got the second briefcase. And then it was down to 2, and Eli Drake and Jesse Goddard, they're supposed to be a tag team now, or like an alliance. They both dart for each briefcase. James Storm, I believe it is, or maybe it's Bobby Roode, goes after Jesse Goddard. So then Goddard tells Eli Drake to pull that one down. So then they do, and Drake gets that briefcase. Then I believe James Storm hits a big super kick. Then Eric Young and Bram, or the last call. Then Eric Young and Bram get in the ring, and they start cleaning house, taking out everyone. Brighter Side of Suffering, Pile Driver. They're just beating the shit out of people. And instead of going for the briefcase, they just continue to beat the shit out of people. That's what I like about Eric Young and Bram. They're like, their gimmick is they don't even give a fuck about the freaking belts. They just want to be out there to kick the shit out of someone. So that pretty much their gimmick is they're crazy, and they do a great job at it. So they don't even go for the briefcase, but then Beer Money gets back in the ring. They take control. Beer Money suplex. They're taking everyone out. And then Bobby Roode, James Storm are the last two standing. They both look up at the briefcase. There's only one left. They stared down at each other for about 3 seconds. Then Bobby Roode lets James Storm go up there and retrieve it as he watches guard. And they get the last briefcase. And it was pretty interesting. But I believe they hit a Tower of Power is what they call it in TNA, which is like that pyramid thing in the corner with the power bomb and the suplex that WWE does in about every Divas match that's a triple threat or more. So, I mean, not that big of a deal. And that was about the only spot in the match, I believe. Drew Galloway hit a Claymore kick earlier in the match. But other than that, like, that's pretty much it. Then after that, we got Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle backstage. And I'm not sure exactly what this is about, but Jeff was talking about how he didn't want to fight his brother tonight, but he had to because of how Matt's acting. And then Kurt Angle basically was just back there to say he's got his back for tonight. Then we get the X Division title match, which is really random. Tigre Uno defends against DJZ and Mandrews. They didn't even announce this match for the card, I don't think. So, and these two guys, I was just sitting here thinking, why the fuck do these two guys get a title shot? What the fuck did they do? They didn't do shit. I mean, DJZ had a 6-man tag the other week where he ended up losing. His team did anyways. And Mandrews, I haven't even seen him yet this year. So I'm just sitting here, what the fuck did they... That's the problem with their X Division. They just give out random title shots. And it's all these superstars who have no name whatsoever to them. They need a person with a credible name in the X Division. That's how they'll fix it. Because what I'm going to add after that, this was a really good match. This was an old school X Division awesome match. Cool moves. Tigre Uno had a few cool moves, I'll admit that. We did like a double leg arm drag type maneuver early in the match. A lot of flips. I can say that much. DJZ did a cool moonsault. Mandrews did a moonsault off the steps. Mandrews also brought out the skateboard, which I think I kind of like this guy now. He brought out a skateboard, he rides it down the ramp, and then jumps off the skateboard into a Hurricanrana on, I believe it was DJZ. And it was pretty freaking sweet. Then they also, DJZ, of course, hitting that patented springboard NDT, which is always awesome. Then he hit his finisher, which I just now remember what it is. Like, back suplex position, he flips you off into like a knee face buster type maneuver, which is really cool. I like that move. And then I believe there's a few other cool segments. Yeah, not Tigre, DJ Z hooked both other superstars and like rolled them into a double backslide. Like you'll just have to see it to know what I'm talking about, but it's really cool. I think he's did it before even. So I mean, I kind of remembered that, but it just looked really cool. And then they also did Tigre Uno did a double submission move thing to where he had DJZ down like a leg submission on the ground, and then he had Mandrews up in the shit. What do you call it? The Canadian backbreaker maybe that submission, the Canadian backbreaker submission maneuver with the arms out and he hooks them and over the back. I don't know what to call it, but he had a double submission locked in on two people, which was really cool too. But Tigre Uno ends up winning the match with the top rope. The top rope, I don't know what you call it. It's the back flip where the other person's doing the front flip. I don't know what he calls it. I'm assuming it's his finisher, probably. But he did it off the top rope, and he just did the back flip thing, landed it, and pinned him. Pretty weak finish, because I seen that coming, because a lot of freaking small guys do that move. And I didn't like the finish at all, though. And then we're interrupted, though, by the savior of the X Division. Out comes Greg Helms. I had no clue who the fuck it was at the starting till I seen him come out there because they had the music playing for a little while, all the green lights, and I should have guessed Greg Helms. I don't know why I didn't. But Greg Helms comes down and he's talking about how in 1 week they did announce this one. In 1 week, Tigre Uno's going to defend the X Division Championship against Shane Helms because the X Division is what made TNA, and he's here to make it good again. And I can almost guarantee you that Greg Helms is walking out with the belt. It would only make sense. Hell, the color of the belt even matches his gear. It would make complete sense for Shane Helms to get it because they need someone with a name on them to help boost the X Division Championship back up to where it should be. For one, they need to bring back the original title, just like they ended up doing with the TNA Heavyweight Championship, because the original one was a lot better, and it was a lot more prestigious than the stupid green one. I mean, I think just a year ago they had it blue, right? It's the same design, it's just green now. It's changing colors like John Cena's goddamn wardrobe right now. So this is just ridiculous. But then after that, we get a backstage segment with the Dollhouse. And Awesome Kong's just gone completely ghetto on us now. She's talking like a big black lady from the Bronx or something now. She used to be scary, and now she's just all ghetto-y, talking about this shit be tripping and all this crap like she's a gangster. Then she ended up having them chant whose house, Tong's house, the Dollhouse. And it was just ridiculous. A stupid segment with Awesome Kong. She used to be scary. I used to be scared of her. Now she's just a giant joke. I'm not even joking. She's just a fool now. It's stupid. But then after that we get Drake and Jesse Goddard's backstage. Eli Drake, not Drake the rapper. But we get Eli Drake and Jesse Goddard's backstage, and they're talking about their briefcase and how Eli Drake can't wait to open it. Jesse Goddard tells him to open it. It looks like he's going to, and this whole time I'm thinking he's going to get the fired one, and he's going to swap it with Grado. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. That didn't happen as far as we know. Maybe next week they'll be backstage, and Eli Drake will tell Jesse Goddard that he did that or something, because he was opening it backstage before they went to commercial break. So, I mean, I'm still thinking that he swapped his with Grado. I'm thinking that's what happened. But moving on after that, we get Kurt Angle and Matt Hardy backstage. Angle walks into Matt Hardy's living room backstage, I guess is what it was. It looks like the freaking baby's room. They have a room designated for the fucking child. And Tyrus gets up in Kurt Angle's face. Matt Hardy calls him off. And then Matt Hardy talks to Angle. What you need, Curtis? Oh my god. Angle basically says that Matt Hardy's been a disgrace to the family as of late, the Hardy name per se. And then Matt Hardy says no, he's trying to build the TNA brand back up to what it used to be. And then Kurt Angle's like, no Hardy, I was the first ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I built this company. No, you didn't. AJ Styles built the company, but still. He says, I built the company, and now you're trying to tear it down, and I'm not going to let that happen. And then that was pretty much the end of that segment. It's just setting up for a feud maybe between Angle and Hardy. I hope not. I don't think it'll be a feud, but maybe a match. Maybe that'll be one of Kurt Angle's farewell tour matches. But then after that, we get Awesome Kong versus Velvet Sky, because that's what they're talking about backstage. Awesome Kong's going to be fighting Velvet tonight. I can honestly tell you I'm not sure exactly what happened throughout this whole match. I mean, Velvet Sky kind of just got her ass whooped, and then she got splashed on by Awesome Kong after Kong caught her out of midair. And then Kong went for the cover and pulled her head up at 2 because she didn't want to end her yet. And then she hit her with the implant buster. I wasn't really paying attention, honestly. I got food because the knockouts are boring now. But, Awesome Kong ends up winning the match, of course. And then after that, she starts beating down on Velvet. Madison Rayne comes to her aid. Madison Rayne's taking it to Awesome Kong. Then, of course, they're interrupted by the Dollhouse. And then the Dollhouse comes out and cleans house. And she takes out Velvet and Madison. And Jade hits Madison with that pile driver. What do you call it? The cradle pile driver, right? Shit. Kevin Owens' old move. I'm just having a mind blank right now. I can't really think of what it's called. I think it's the cradle pile driver, right? But she hits her with that, and then they pull down Madison Rayne while Awesome Kong goes to the second rope and like does a splash off the second rope onto Velvet. So apparently that's supposed to take Velvet out because Awesome Kong is fat, and when she lands on you, it squashes you. So apparently a splash from the second rope. Velvet's like dead now, apparently, with the way the announcers were acting. And they're making Madison watch and everything. Apparently Velvet's like dead now. So, moving on after that, we get the Wolves backstage. And they're there to talk about what occurred last week when stupid Crazy Steve stuck his nose in their business during their promo backstage. And of course, we all know that thanks to my co-host from last week's review, which you can watch on my channel right there. But the Crazy Steve's tag partner turns out to be Abyss. Now, the thing that we did not expect was the bitch that came out before Crazy Steve and Abyss. And I don't know what to say about that. But first, we gotta talk about the first briefcase reveal, which turns out to be what's his face again? He stole Fandango's gimmick. You have to say his name right now. Oh yeah, Eli Drake, Elijah Drake. Yeah, him. He got the King of the Mountain championship title match. So I just see him coming out there trying to cash in, and then Eric Young just hitting him with a pile driver and then saying, "Fuck you, get out of here." So pretty much, how am I supposed to put this? Eli Drake got a one-way ticket to Job City against Eric Young. That's pretty much what that came down to. They walk out. Then they wait to reveal the rest of the briefcases because it's not like we already know who's getting what after that one. I mean, Drake and Grado were the only two that I was confused about who were getting what. But now after that's set in place, we pretty much know who's getting the rest. Grado got fired! Yes! 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 Then we had the Wolves take on Crazy Steve and Abyss. Now I can talk about this weird shit. The Wolves come out there. They're fired up, of course. They want their damn belts back because apparently Abyss and Crazy Steve took them last week, and they want their fucking belts back. So they come down to the ring. Then they're cut off by this interesting, creepy music. And then this girl walks out with like weird-ass face paint on, looking like her face is decayed. And then she just keeps screaming, "Decayed, decayed, decayed," afterwards. And just hearing the announcer say it was so freaking annoying. The commentators were like, "What does decay mean?" Well, that's when your flesh kind of deteriorates because you're dead. You know, that's decay. But as far as the term of what they're going with, we figured that out in the match. Then out comes Crazy Steve, And he's even more crazier than usual. He's like cut his hair into like a mohawk thing now, kind of like my hair except long. And then, of course, they go up on the ramp to try to confront him because I believe they had their titles there. And then out comes Abyss, of course. And then they take a really odd commercial break. Like before Abyss is even like his music even stops or anything. Like Josh Matthews just hurries up and gets a sentence in, and then they go to commercial break, which is really odd. They come back. The fights spill out all over the place. Abyss has got the advantage. They're beating the shit out of Davey Richards for the majority of the match. I'm just beating the crap out of them. They do this interesting tag team move to where Abyss choke slams Crazy Steve onto Davey Richards. Now, I would be okay with this if Crazy Steve sold it and acted hurt a little afterwards, but he just acted like it didn't affect him at all. So that makes no sense. You're still getting chokeslammed by Abyss. It should hurt you even if you land on someone else. That's probably even going to hurt even more because you landed on someone else would probably hurt more than you landed on the freaking mat. So you could try to sell it maybe a little, but he just gets right back up afterwards, and it's very interesting with the way they're moving. And come to find out that the gimmick's basically they're zombies. Okay, but Davey Richards gets, except for Abyss. Abyss is just a monster, but the other two are like zombies or some shit, or vampires, I don't fucking know. But they make the tag to Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards comes in the ring, drop kicks Abyss. Abyss doesn't fall off the apron. They're selling Abyss's size here, of course, because the other two guys aren't that big at all. So they can definitely sell Abyss's size here. Then he takes down Crazy Steve, then goes after Abyss again, still doesn't knock Abyss off the apron, then finally a third shot takes Abyss off the apron, then he dives to the outside on Abyss, takes Abyss out, then he gets back in the ring, Crazy Steve gets the advantage for a split second, goes to bounce off the ropes, Eddie Edwards, of course, tosses him up, Davey Richards catches him with the roundhouse midsection kick, vintage Wolves. Then they go to each corner of the top rope. They're doing the howl and everything. Then that bitch comes back down with her tag belts, and she's like walking like a zombie and shit. So then Davey Richards goes out there after being distracted. He wants the damn belts. And then Eddie Edwards gets hit with the black hole slam in the ring. Davey Richards turns around to help Eddie Edwards because he hears the commotion. And then when that happens, Crazy Steve spits mist in the face of Davey Richards, and then Davey Richards turns around to the bitch. The bitch spits mist in Davey Richards' face, then jumps on him and proceeds to like bite his neck or some shit. I don't even know what the fuck was going on, but he's over there screaming and she's like biting his neck and shit. It was really weird. And then she didn't actually bite him, but that's how they're playing it off. And then the commentators were like, "Oh my gosh, she's biting his neck." And so I guess they're supposed to be like zombies. And then in the ring, of course, that mist caused the DQ. And then Abyss just kept taking it to Eddie Edwards, choke slammed him again. Then the bitch got in the ring with Crazy Steve, and she proceeded to crawl all over Eddie Edwards, and I believe she acted like she was eating his face too. And it was just really weird and bizarre. The crowd was booing the whole time. That's what they think of this gimmick. They just thought it was complete trash, I guess. I didn't think it was like, it's kind of interesting, it's new, it's dynamic, but it's really stupid. Because, I mean, it's just not very logical, because she's over there acting like she's eating his face off, but yet, like, there's nothing wrong with him. And, like, she's just wearing paint. So, I mean, if they went for more of a vampire angle and she didn't wear paint, that would be better, like a Gangrel Brood or like Daphne type gimmick. But no, they're just going with like this zombie type gimmick thing. I hope to hell next week they don't like bite someone, or like they bit Davey this week and like he gets infected or something and joins them. Oh god. That would be such an awful storyline. But they end up standing over the Wolves with the tag belt, so it looks like the Beer Money Wolves match isn't going to happen yet, and we're going to get Fuckface and Abyss versus the Wolves in a title match, which the Wolves will probably end up retaining. I can't imagine them pushing Fuckface and Abyss. Abyss at this age, and then that idiot, no. So, after that, we finally get a briefcase reveal of the rest of them, but we're cut off by Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett comes back there with Maria, and they're talking about how someone's going to need a miracle tonight to get out of this because, of course, someone's getting fired. Grado, thankfully. But then Drew Galloway cuts him off and asks him what the hell his bloody problem is and tells him that at least they're trying to take a chance here and not just sitting around waiting like you, which he's only been in the company for like 2 weeks, Galloway, so I mean, give him a break a bit. But then Michael Bennett proceeds to say that he's gonna need a miracle if he ever talks to Maria like that, and I can't remember exactly what Galloway said. I think Galloway called her a bitch or something. Probably that's what Jeff Hardy is doing tonight. So Galloway probably did it too. They're not PG, so they can get away with doing that. And I just think that's funny. Michael Bennett wants to beat up Drew Galloway. Good luck with that. TNA did a good job of making Drew Galloway a main event superstar. I could actually see him very soon with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I like Drew Galloway. His finisher with the C4 kick's really cool. His offense is really innovative, and I like Drew Galloway overall. And now that he has the world title briefcase, which he won, of course, Beer Money got the tag one. You could have guessed that. It was funny though at the starting because James Storm just like had a bad look on his face, and they passed it to Bobby Roode, and then Roode did the same thing. They're just trying to swerve us, which I actually believed it for a second there. And I was like, no way. And then they turned it around and they all started laughing, and then they just screamed, beer, money, and then they just walked out with the briefcase. So, of course, they're happy. But then Drew Galloway ended up getting the world title shot, which means Grado's dumbass is fired, and Drew Galloway gets a world title shot whenever he wants. He can cash in. It's just like Money in the Bank. So, I mean, Drew Galloway basically got Money in the Bank because he can cash in on the main title just like you can Money in the Bank in WWE. So, it's basically like winning Money in the Bank for Drew Galloway. So, now the question here, though, is when is Galloway going to cash it in? Is he going to cash it in on Matt Hardy? Is he going to cash it in once EC3 gets the title back, possibly? Is he going to cash it in next week? Like, when's he going to cash it in? That's the question. That's the question. Who's he going to cash it in on, and when is he going to cash it in on? But then after that, we finally get the main event, which is supposed to be Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. They do the announcements and everything, but it is cut off really soon with the appearance of Eric Young and Bram. Eric Young comes down the ramp and starts talking about how he deserves the title shot because he's the king of the mountain. We were saved, thankfully, from this match by Eric Young, the best wrestler in TNA now, the world-class maniac. But then they're cut off in the ring by Bram. Bram attacks Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy doesn't do dick. He just stands over there and watches Jeff get his ass kicked. And the whole time the crowd's booing Matt Hardy like crazy. You still suck. You still suck. You still suck. And they're just screaming for EC3. Everyone in the freaking building wants EC3. That's what I'm saying. EC3, when he comes back, he's going to get a huge push. Because he's already over as crap just from being gone from a week and after that screw job finish. So, yeah, EC3 is going to get a huge pop when he returns. He's supposed to do some, like, promo thing and give us a status next week. I think that's just going to be, like, a interview, like, over the Titantron type thing, like, over the internet or the web or whatever. He's not actually going to be there, I'm assuming. But when he does come back, he's going to get a huge pop. But then out comes Beer Money to the aid of Jeff Hardy. And Beer Money ends up taking it to Tyrus and Matt Hardy and Eric Young and Bram. But then they're cut off by Fuckface and Abyss. And now this is what I'm confused about. They have no reason whatsoever to be out there. It made no sense for those two to come out there. Did they just need more people to come out there to put over Beer Money? Beer Money ends up taking out like all 6 of those guys by themselves, 2 on 6, which is freaking awesome. That's how badass Beer Money is. They just go out there and take out all 6 guys. They run Abyss and Fuckface off to the back. And then it's down to Jeff in the ring, and Matt Hardy's getting in the ring too, looking like he's going to attack Jeff. But then he's cut off by the music of the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle comes down to the ring. He gets in the face of Matt Hardy, but then is cut off by Tyrus. And Tyrus and Matt Hardy both attack Kurt Angle, take him down. And then Eric Young and Bram get back in the ring, and they set their sights on Jeff Hardy once again. After I believe Matt Hardy hit him with a twist of fate. I'm not for sure though. I can't remember if Matt Hardy attacked Jeff at all or not. but he walked out on him, and that's good enough. And then Bram and Eric Young end up attacking, assaulting Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy tries to fight back. There was a table set up there on the outside from earlier. I believe Eric Young set it. Yeah, Eric Young set it up. They set that up earlier, and Jeff Hardy's about ready to twist the fate Bram off the. Was it Bram or was it Eric Young? He's about ready to twist the fate Bram. Yeah, Bram off the apron through the table, but then Eric Young stops him. Eric Young gets out on the apron, sets him up, and I didn't think he was gonna. I didn't think he was actually gonna hit it, but he freaking pile drives Jeff Hardy off the freaking apron through the damn table. That is the fucking thumbnail, as you see, and when you clicked on the video, as you've seen when you clicked on the video. But that was freaking ridiculous. He pile drives Jeff Hardy off the freaking apron through a table on the outside on the concrete. That move already looks devastating enough in the fucking ring. To do it off the apron, through a table, onto the floor on the outside, that is just ridiculous. And that is how you end TNA. But other than that, Eric Young's awesome. Tonight's episode was okay. I'll probably continue to do reviews for TNA in the future. I'm not for sure, so don't make that uh, mandatory that I do a review. But I will probably continue these reviews because I like TNA tonight, especially Eric Young's pile drive off the freaking apron through a damn table. That was sick.